stop asking what I think about this woman because I don't really care about her, and you're giving her advertisement by writing her name. Why do you want to know my thoughts on it? Did she do anything illegal? No, she didn't, right? So what are my thoughts on it? Let's see. She was frustrated and acting like a jerk to the dog. And she pushed the dog. Should the dog be taken away from her? Why? What do you want me to say? She's a frustrated owner with an untrained dog. Yeah, it's a problem. We have 4 million dogs dying every year, and dogs like hers that are untrained, frustrate owners, so they get sick of it and then they take the dog to the animal shelter. That Doberman is no different than any other dog that is living with you or someone else. It's in statistically a very bad spot. One, because it's not trained. So what do you want me to say? Oh, she's an animal abuser. She looked frustrated for sure. Her dog seems to be like she got the dog for her YouTube channel. That's the impression that I got. She doesn't know anything about dogs, and I'm sure she's giving advice on dogs. That's what I think. Well, I'm sorry, I'm not going to call her an animal abuser. That's what you want me to say, and I don't want to get involved in it because it doesn't make any difference. Did she break a law? No, she didn't. She didn't break a law. Is she a good dog owner? No, she's a shitty dog owner. Just like most of the people that are seeing this video that have dogs that are untrained. What do you want me to say? The majority of people that are watching this that have dogs, you're a shitty dog owner. Is your dog on pet food? I bet hers is. I bet she gives grain free. Why do you want to hear my opinion about this idiot? And why do you people insist upon somebody does something that is just ridiculous, outrageous, asshole-ish, whatever on a video, and then you proceed to spread the name and, give them advertisement? Just shut up. Just shut up. It's as bad as a screenshot. People that do screenshots, by the way, are losers. All right? I don't give a shit about her. She's one more of millions of shitty dog owners. That's what I think. And she has a YouTube channel of 350,000 subs. Took me 9.5 years to get to 100,000 subs. That's what I think of her, okay? There's too many channels like that. It's some chick, and because it's a female, this sounds terrible, but it's true. If you're a female and you're attractive, you can start an ASMR channel, and you could do pretty good. That's true of a lot of channels. If you're attractive and female, bingo. YouTube, I recommend it. I've told several female friends of mine that. This one girl that I dated, I think I've talked about her. I've referred to her as a narcissist. She's very attractive. She's very self-centered. I'm not gonna say her name, but she should have a YouTube channel for sure because one, she's attractive and she's a Pilates instructor. Do you think that she'll get subs? Yes, she will definitely get subs. She has an Instagram account. She has a lot of people on Instagram that watch her do Pilates. She's not an asshole, though. She wouldn't be beating up on her cats. I don't know what, just listen. If something like that happens, you don't spread the person's name. There's going to be people that are going to see this that are going to try and search it now. But I want you all to shut up. Shut up on my channel, okay? Shut up. Don't talk about shit like that. Don't write other channels' names under my video. This is the Miracle Pawpaw right here. 2 or 3 years ago, I planted a pawpaw here, and it never did well. And then this year I came out here and it was dead. So I cut off the top part. It was all dead wood, and I let it sit there and I watered it, and nothing. So then I came out here about 2 weeks ago, something like that, and I took my pocket knife to see if like the root, if it was dead, and it was dead. Cut it open, there was nothing, it was dead. So it was so dead that I pulled the root up and I threw it in the right over there in the road. It's true. It's like it was dead. It pulled up and out. There were roots on it. Then, about a few days later, I was out here with Tonka, and Tonka peed on that spot. And when he peed, it made a puddle, and the puddle looked a lot like Jesus Christ. I said, oh, look at that. Tonka's pee is in the shape of Jesus Christ. That's weird. It was like he drew in the dirt. It was dirt. Like there's some vegetation here now, but it was dirt. Jesus Christ. 2 days ago, I come out here, I look down, and there's a pawpaw growing. I swear to God, I don't know how this could be. I pulled the root out and I threw it in, over there beside the road. See, that is a pawpaw. I'm just amazed. Like, how could that be there? It doesn't make any sense. I pulled the whole thing up. I just don't get it. And also, when I pulled the whole thing up, I was pulling it up over here, right? I don't know. It was too young of a plant and struggling too much for that to be a root sucker. I don't get it. Maybe Tonka's pee has special properties or something. Maybe, I don't know, maybe this is the Christ pawpaw? Could be Jesus pawpaw, I'm not sure. I'm really happy that it's growing though, because I got these mail order ones, which are really, they were super cheap. I'm just gonna turn them into grafts. I'm gonna graft onto them. But it's here. You can see how they look when they come out of the ground though, like that. Look at how beautiful that is. This little tree doesn't look so hot, but it's definitely not an edible landscaping. This is from companion plants, and it is a pawpaw, and it will grow. Trying to be more tolerant, I am, and I do want to apologize to anybody that I might have banned you or blocked you. I can't, I have to make decisions and they're quick, and when people are writing stuff, I got to make a judgment call, and I might ban you or block you. I don't know who you are. If it's clearly anything racist or anything homophobic or I'm gonna, you're out of here. But there's things that, like, there's a gray area, and I have said to myself that I should be more tolerant of people and other people's views, but it's difficult. It is. It's real difficult. I just block somebody right now, or I ban them, and I couldn't help it. The first time that I noticed them was the Belle Delphine video where I'm talking about her, and they called me a pervert. They called me a pervert for what? For doing the video about that subject matter? There's no subject that's off the table for me. It's a topical subject, but she's hot on the internet. So of course I did a video on her, and they called me a pervert. So before, I was like, okay, don't block this person or ban this person right away. I went to their channel, and the first thing that I saw was a playlist with religious stuff. And so I went back, and underneath what they wrote when they called me a pervert, I said, "Those without sin cast the first stone. You sound a bit judgmental," something to that effect. And then I just banned them today, and this is why. It's disinformation. If you post disinformation about anything, I'd be careful saying something on my channel about dogs or animals or anything. If it's disinformation, I'm just gonna ban you. And this is what they did. I had posted a video uploaded a video about me going to Wegmans and drinking kombucha cola, which only has 8 grams of sugar. That's very, very low compared to like a soda. I gave up soda, and I gave up all that shit because I was diagnosed as being pre-diabetic, which I don't think I'm pre-diabetic anymore. But I'm still, I'm not gonna start eating sugar, I'll tell you that. But the whole thing of it is you have to change your diet, which I did. So I got rid of the really bad sugars, like the sodas and stuff like that, the candy. I don't eat it anymore. And I lowered my carbs. I did exactly what my doctor suggested. And this idiot says, this is verbatim, if you're pre-diabetic, you're supposed to give up all sugar. Listen, idiot, that would be pretty difficult. And this is true. Carbs like oats and stuff like that, pasta, that turns to sugar. It turns into sugar. You can't give that up. And okay, let's talk about just like fructose, like fruit. You want me to give up fruit? You want me to give up all fruit? Is that what your idea is? That's what you think? If you're diabetic, you can have like no sugar? It's impossible. And a peach is high in sugar. It's a complex carb. I wouldn't want to eat 25 of them, but I can eat a peach. Shut up if you don't know what you're talking about. Okay? And one other thing, just so you know, that fructose and, sugar, like refined white sugar, your body reacts the same way to it. It's sugar. There's no better or worse sugar. Maple syrup is just as bad as honey or refined sugar or fructose. And carbs, like a bagel, could, jack your blood sugar up, this is true, more than a piece of candy. So if you don't know what you're talking about, shut up. Shut up. No doctor told me to give up all sugar. So you want me to give up all fruit? My doctor never said that, Dick. That's a complex carb again. Yeah, it has sugar in it. There's a lot of stuff that has sugar or turns into sugar, so you can't give that up. You need to change your diet, which I did, jerk. I did. And it was difficult. And giving up candy, rice pudding, ice cream, and all that stuff, it's so hard. It's so hard. And you know what? I bet the jerk that says that, you know, acting like they're a doctor, like, you're a doctor? I'm supposed to give up all sugar? That was never said, dick. It just pisses me off. I bet you anything that person is overweight by a lot. By a lot, and has no willpower whatsoever. It just irritates the shit out of me. If you're pre-diabetic, they don't tell you to give up all sugar, because how are you going to do that? It would be impossible. You'd have to give up carbs. Do I look like a dog? No, I'm not a dog. Dogs need 0 carbs, by the way. That's why when you're feeding your dog pet food, the grain-free stuff, which gives dogs cardiomyopathy, or grain food, they're not supposed to have, they don't need carbs. They need 0 carbs. 0. Did you hear what I said? 0. They get the bulk of their energy from proteins and fats. We get the bulk of our energy from carbs. How the hell am I going to live without carbs? My doctor never said that, dick. Okay? And I've checked my blood, and it appears that I'm no longer pre-diabetic. But that doesn't mean that I'm like, oh, I'm going to go eat candy now. No, I got to stay on the diet. That's just how it is. Don't post disinformation like this idiot. I don't care. I don't want it. I don't want to hear about how great the president is. I'll tell you that. Don't post any of that on my channel. We're at the vet getting Lola's teeth looked at. She's a little spastic. She's a little excited, aren't you? Lola, sit. No, sit. Down. She's very excited to get her teeth pulled. Probably. She's like a squirming bag of worms. Look at her. Down. Look at her tail. Never seen anybody so excited to be at a doctor's. Oh yeah, I have. Every dog I know. Me, no. I'd be terrified. I don't like going to the doctor. Lola does though. No, down. Good, hold. Drop. Good. Saying that I'm unintentionally funny. I'm a fucking comedian, and you're telling me that I'm unintentionally funny. I made the decision in first grade to go into art, comedy, and dog training, and I stuck with it. Unintentionally funny? Fuck you. You know? Fuck you. You think I'm unintentionally funny. It's just the rudest thing that you could tell a comedian. Oh, you don't mean to be funny, you're just unintentionally funny. Fuck off. If you're gonna be on my channel, seriously, don't fucking parrot shit that somebody else has said. It's just fucking mindless dribble. I think on most of my social media, it says, you know, artist, dog trainer, comedian. You're telling me I'm unintentionally funny. Fuck off. What are my thoughts on e-collars? That's what you write underneath my video? What are my thoughts on e-collars? So you've seen one video and you know that I'm a dog trainer. And then the idiot writes, I don't know if I can say this verbatim. I think that I can. I had, unfortunately, I had to put an e-collar on my dog because it didn't have very good recall. Unfortunately. You fucking jerk off. Why are you even writing anything underneath my video? What, why? And by the way, I looked, you're lying. Your dog doesn't have an e-collar. It has a harness on. And that's not your dog. That's your parents' dog, kid. Just shut the fuck up. Go ask your mommy what time is dinner. And stop fucking writing things underneath videos on YouTube. If you've never had currants, these are just so amazing. I will eat these with my dirty hands. They're like little balls of sour juice. They're really fucking good. Oh my God. Sour, but not overpowering. There's this astringentness, but it's like, oh God, they're addictive. I'll come out here in the morning, and this is what I'll have for breakfast. It's just a handful of these. Oh my God. I want to plant another one of these. I love them. I have gooseberries too. They didn't do real good this year because I pruned them. They'll do good next year. Eating currants off the bush with dirty, paint-stained hands. Oh my God. I like sour fruit. I do. I like sour fruit too. I like sweet fruit, but I like sour fruit. Oranges, I guess, would probably be. Somebody said, like, if there was a question like, "What's your favorite fruit?" I'd probably write oranges. But I've got a lot of favorite fruits, really. That's just been my favorite fruit since I was a kid. These currants are just like, oh my God. They have little seeds, but they're nothing. They're nothing. I gotta get another one of these bushes. I guess it's a bush. It's sort of like a bush. I'm not gonna say that they're to die for, because your country and your family, that they're to die for. But these things are amazing. Real good. You would have to like sour. Oh my God, I could literally eat them all day. I'd eat a big bowl of these. I wish that these came packaged, just like 3 pounds of these, and then I'd put 1 pound in a bowl, and I'd eat them with a spoon. And then after I was done, I'd fill up the bowl again, and eat another pound. I'm talking real good. Wow. I saw a robin, actually. It was weird. I've seen several birds on this bush eating these too. I don't blame them. Saw a starling out here eating them. They're real good. Oh my God. So good. It's delicious. Look at that bad boy. It's coming along. It's a delicious pawpaw. It's pretty small right now. I planted 25 more pawpaws. Why not? I have the room. They're planted close together. Like if you look at Deep Run Pawpaw's orchard, that's 1,000 trees in 10 acres. So if I have all these trees in this, I have plenty of room. You plant them close. You can plant them like a hedge so that they're touching. That's how they grow in the wild. They grow really close to each other. That helps with pollination too. So if you plant a pawpaw tree, like you have 2 trees, one in your backyard and one in your front yard, it's not bees. First of all, it's not bees that's going to pollinate your pawpaw trees. It's beetles and flies. It might not get pollinated. It might though, but it might not. You plant them real close together. So now I have a total of, let's see, I don't know, 53? Something like that. Just over 50 pawpaw trees. They're easy to grow. As long as you know the basic rule of thumb, which is don't let the plant dry out. Use water crystals. Plant them using water storing crystals, and you cannot overwater a pawpaw tree. You could water them daily. This is the truth. I'm not kidding, and I've done it. I water daily sometimes. Just make sure that the base, that there's no of the trunk. Just make sure that there's no material that's wet, like around the trunk. You could give the pawpaw, root rot or trunk rot. Doing that, you could give it a fungus, but man, as long as the base is clear, you can just keep watering them. And what does watering do? Watering makes them grow. That's the environment that they come from. It's like down by rivers, flooded areas, by creeks, and they just grow a tremendous amount. If there's very little water, they're not a drought tolerant plant. If it's a plant this big, yeah, you could probably get away with a lot. But if you water a plant like this size, it just keeps growing throughout the season. It's known to be a slow growing tree, which is sort of true. If you put a seedling in the ground that's like this big, it might be 9 years later. But if you water them and you trim the lower branches, this is key, trim the lower branches and water them heavily, as long as your soil drains. You have to have a soil that drains. Clay, they're not going to do good in. And they're also not tolerant of salt, so you can't grow them by the ocean. But as long as it's well drained, you can just keep watering them and they'll keep growing throughout the season. Cutting the branches, pruning them and watering them a lot will get them to 6 feet. Now, why am I saying 6 feet? 6 feet is the height that a pawpaw tree will flower and bear fruit. Here's one from Edible Landscaping. This is another seedling that is described as a select pawpaw. It looked great coming out of the box, and I already have growth on it, so it's gonna do just fine. Looks good. It does. It looks real good. I'm real happy with this one. Once again, up here, I planted this with lots of water storing crystals. I always use them with a pawpaw. That's an NC1. I bought that from One Green World. I do not recommend using One Green World. It's, in other words, they're selling them as older plants than they should be. They never fit the pots good. It shouldn't be like that. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It is, but that's an NC1. Their customer service is really terrible too. They say on their website, they said, well, when I ordered them, it said that they had 3-day shipping, and then several of the plants that they sent me were on the road for like 6 days. It really pissed me off. I don't want to use them again. They'll be all right. I'll keep watering them, but I only bought them because I bought from them because Edible Landscaping was sort of out of grafts, and I had an NC1 in the back that that the graft screwed up in the winter. So I wanted to try it again because it's a good cultivar. Now I have a lot of trees over 6 foot. I can't wait. I'm gonna have pawpaws next year. I have a lot of trees over 6 foot. Some of them are big enough that I will let them have fruit. Definitely. Some of them will just be like, they could have 1 or 2. That's it. But something this size, this tree is, I don't know if you can tell in this video, but this tree is ready to go. This year it's probably going to reach 13, 14 feet. So next year it could hold a lot of fruit, and I'm looking forward to it. Pawpaws, if you've never had them, they're related to the chirimoya, and they're sort of similar. The chirimoya has more seeds, but it's sort of similar in that you want to eat them when they're real ripe. Like that chirimoya, like if it's real green, don't eat it. Wait until it starts getting sort of blackish on the outside, and then you want it soft. The same thing's true with the pawpaw. If you eat them when they're real green, not that good at all. But if you let them get soft, oh my God. It's better than any ice cream I've ever had. This is true. They compare it to custard. The chirimoya too, they call it the custard apple. But they compare the pawpaw to, people do, I sound like Trump, compare it to custard. It's unbelievable frozen. You take the pulp and you freeze it. I swear to God, it's better than any ice cream I've ever had. The taste is similar to, it's got a smell of bubble gum, sort of, and it has a mango, strawberry, banana, pineapple, vanilla. It's complex. Don't cook with it. You'll waste it. Just eat it out. Just cut it in half and eat it with a spoon, spitting the seeds out. Or get that pulp out and freeze it. Or freeze the whole pawpaw, cut it in half, and then let it thaw a little bit before you start eating it. If it's brown, seriously, if it's brown, that's the way I like them. When they're green like that, no good. They'll start changing. Man, I let mine change, get real ripe. Sort of like a real ripe banana. One of my new pawpaws, I put it here, and I'm not too comfortable with it being here, but I want something here. And the reason why I'm not comfortable with it being here is that this was an old sort of like dump. I guess that's what they did in the country back in the day. In beaver dams, you just take your stuff out in the back and bury it. So it's a lot of glass and stuff like that. This area is not utilized, so I'm going to try and grow a pawpaw here. I'm growing 3. All 3 of these pawpaws are from Edible Landscaping. If you're looking for pawpaws, I recommend getting them that way. These are not grafts. These are their seedlings. They're select. They call them select pawpaws. And what that means, what they're saying when they say that is that it's not a known cultivar, but it's from fruit from known cultivars. But the thing about pawpaws is that the fruit, the seed in the fruit, unlike an apple or something like that, is really indicative of the fruit you'll get from the plant that comes from the seed. So it's not like if I wanted to, I could have a farm with and just have Peterson's pawpaws, just grow those and say, well, that's a Rappahannock, or that's a Potomac. See what I'm saying? But these, it's just a pawpaw. It's no fancy name. It's just a pawpaw. But is the fruit going to be good? Oh yeah, it'll be fine. Planted that last night. It'll start picking up. All of them do. This one's in a nice area. It's shaded from the afternoon. You want to shade the pawpaws for sure when they're young. The recommendation from Kentucky State, Cornell, all of the universities that are studying pawpaws is that you shade them for the first year or 2.